Hey, what's going on, peeps? My name is MrRhexx and we're back with some more World of Warcraft. Welcome to the very calm and awesome Barrens. It's one of my favorite places in the entire game. Is by far the place where I spend the most playing back in the day, and not just leveling, but just chilling. Back when Barrens Shed used to be a thing. I remember I spent Christmas one day, or no, I think it was New Year's, and just spend the entire actual New Year's just talking to people on chat. And when New Year's happened, we all started counting from 10 to 1 for the New Year's, and I don't know, I have that vivid memory, and it used to be something. I've never forgotten that. I don't know, at some point Baron's Shed just kind of stopped being what it was, and you know, it's kind of lame, but it used to be something big. I like this place a lot.
Loktar.
What do you want, pup? If you're not here for recruitment, I don't have time for you. Oh, so Talkrin sent you. I'll sign this when you've earned it. I've got reports from down south that this whole continent is being torn apart. Meanwhile, I've got supply caravans backed up the river and outposts under siege from here to Stone Talon. You want to prove your worth to the Horde? Start by proving it here. All the Quillboars are our enemies, Rexar. Some just prove to be more of a nuisance than others. The Razormane tribe has been attacking our supply caravans that roll through here from Orgrimmar. I have scouts seeking the leader of these raids, but until then, any losses you can inflict on the filthy pigman will aid us. Start just south of here, where they have been raiding our camps near the river. Cool.
For the Horde.
And that's it for this guy. There's another one here. Holga Bloodeye.
Loktar.
Are you familiar with Planestriders? Useless animals. Can't fly, gamey, brain the size of my knuckle. Too deep to get out of the way of moving cart. I've broken more axles thanks to their thick skulls. Sometimes I think the Quillboar intentionally frighten flocks of them into our path, so our caravans. Okay. All of our caravans are aspired to an ambush. Make me proud, Hunter. Cut a swath through those filthy birds just to keep the roads free. I can do that. I do want to attack the Quillboar first, because I have a lot, guys. There's a lot for me to talk about the Quillboars. They are an amazing society, and what's interesting about them is that they're not actually as dumb as most people think they are. In fact, they're very smart. And what is the most interesting about them is their culture, because they're very specific in everything they do. Like, they have rules and they follow them to the letter. And just to give you guys a small glimpse of what I'm talking about, let me just first get this quest so that I can talk about it as I do this. Dorak.
Me not that kind of
Help.
work.
Help me, Hunter. Biggie man come burn stables. Fire, fire. Dorak wails incoherently before you can settle him down. Wolves still chained inside. Someone's got to save the wolves. I guess I'll do that. It's very interesting, and many people don't know this. The female Quillboars are actually kind of like, in some ways, like Muslim females. Like, they're supposed to always be wearing this coal on their heads, and they need to always be covering their faces and their quills. If they don't do that, then it is considered like a disrespect to the whole tribe, right? If a female Quillboar touches a sword, then she can actually be executed, just straight up executed. And apparently, and this is I think where the difference kind of lies, they don't necessarily see that as a bad thing. Like the females, that is. They're pretty okay with the fact that it is a male-dominated society, and they can be killed by just making those mistakes. The males don't see themselves as superiors to the females, and the females don't really, see that as a bad thing either, which is kind of interesting. But it also has that old Chinese kind of thing where, like, if a parent would have a baby girl, then it is actually considered like a bad thing. Like, oh shit, it's not a male. And in a lot of cases on the Quillboar society, they would just straight up leave female babies to die, almost as much as they would sickly male babies. There's this whole sense of if you're not apporting to the society as a whole, then you're worth nothing. In fact, it is so much so, in fact, I like the way I say words. If you feel like you can't battle anymore, if you can't hold a sword, if you are just not as strong as you used to be, it is actually admired for you to suicide, for you to ritually kill yourself. In fact, they call it the walk, which is this ritual when you get, old enough. You pretty much just leave the tribe and you walk into the woods to die. it's almost like a cat, I guess. You go out, and the whole point is to slay as many animals as possible, as many, you know, like fearsome animals like lions or anything that could potentially hurt the tribe, right? You kill as many of those animals as possible until you die. And everyone in the tribe considers that to be like a good thing. Like they'll make a ceremony and like a party before you leave, and everyone will be like proud of you and stuff. And they do that because like there's this concept of like everyone needs to help out and everyone needs to like do as much for the tribe as possible. So when you're old and you cannot do anything, well, you know, if you die, then you won't like absorb, you know, you won't consume any more food that other people could be eating, right? And you'll kill as many animals as possible, animals that could otherwise prove a threat to the society. So it's like you're still doing something good, right? That's one way in which they kill themselves. The other way is they will literally throw themselves at enemies in hopes that the enemies will kill them. And they do that. Like they'll straight up just be like, well, I guess I'm kind of useless now. I guess it's time for me to throw myself at the enemies. And that's just how their society works. Like their culture is so like full of lore and rules, and I actually was kind of blown away just at how intense it is. There's two main Quillbore tribes. There's the Bristlebacks and there's the Razorfen. These ones are Razorfen, if I'm not mistaken. The Razorfens are the ones that are closer to Durotar, and the Bristlebacks are the ones that are closer to Mulgore. They're wearing each other, like they battle each other, the rivals, I believe. I mean, obviously Razorfen Crawl and Razorfen Down are Razorfen. But it is, for the most part, considered the capital of the Quillbores. Like, if you were to ask what is the capital of the Quillbores, it's Razorfen Crawl. So it's I guess the Razorfens are stronger, which is kind of weird because for the most part Bristlebacks are considered to be the stronger of the two, but the capitals are Razorfen, which is kind of odd, I guess. So I did mention this a little bit before, that their god is Agamemnon or something. It's so hard to pronounce, but it used to be this eternal, this old school like massive boar god that fought in the War of the Ancients against the Burning Crusade, the Burning Legion, and they eventually died off. Obviously, it was one of the... Actually, not many Eternals ended up dying, but he was one of the only ones that died. And legends say that the Quillbore came from this god. But legends also say that the blood of this god that touched the ground made the vines grow the way they do. So you see those vines over there? Like, that's from the blood of this god. And yeah, so... It's not really known necessarily if this is all true. This is just what the legends say, and this is what the Quillbore believe in the first place, that they come from this god. All we know for a fact is that that the Quillbore didn't necessarily live back then. They didn't exist, but eventually they did, and eventually they moved into these parts where Agamemnon died, which I guess was over here in the southern section over here. I think you can see my mouse. I'm hoping that you can, but on the southern section of Barrens is where the boar god died, and we will go there eventually, and we'll show you guys the capital and where Agamemnon died, and you will be able to see his skull and everything, and it's pretty nice. So the way the society works, so it's a male-dominated society, the Quillbores. The way it works for the most part is if you're stronger than another Quillbore, then that Quillbore owes you respect, and you can like own him pretty much. So like a leader will literally be the strongest Quillbore in a tribe, and if someone else can defeat him in battle, then whoever defeated the leader becomes the leader. It's really that simple. So every Quillbore will defer to a stronger Quillbore, and the strongest Quillbore will defer to the shaman. So the shaman will always be the leader of the entire tribe. So the last boss in Razorfen Crawl will obviously be a shaman, right? Only one shaman appears every generation, so it's very, very rare. So it's considered like an awesome thing whenever it happens. They don't necessarily choose to be shaman, and nobody is allowed to study shamanism unless he gets the dreams. So almost like, you know, like the shamans, like the orc shamans, they get dreams from their ancestors, and at least as far as the Quillbores are concerned, it doesn't happen often. It's like a very rare thing, but when it happens to you, boom, you're a shaman. So it's usually how it works. It's a lot for me to kill. Holy crap. These quests are like very, very intense. But but yeah, so I mean, I'm not sure what else to really talk about. It's pretty straightforward. At some point I'll probably make a lore video for the Quill Wars, because man, it is so much and it is so interesting. But alright, sorry about that, guys. My hard drive failed, and so I'm gonna have to get a new one. It's gonna be kind of annoying, but it's something that I have to do. Everyone knows that when a hard drive fails, it's on the decline. There's no getting back to what it was. You need to get a new one, because at some point it's gonna super fail and you're gonna lose all your shit. So I'm gonna have to get a new one. It's gonna take me a little while. It's just obnoxious, but I do want to finish this episode and quickly render it and upload it before my hard drive truly fails. Oh, this is gonna be the worst. I'll get back to what I was saying in just a second. You saved the wolves, so brave. Someday maybe you get a wolf just like that to ride. Cool. So let's just go ahead and get ourselves a cape, because we want to look fabulous, and I have no space for this. What a shame. There we go. Looking fabulous. Anyways, I was saying, like, for the most part, the Quill Boars are never seen as that much of a threat. Like, they're there, and you kill them really easy, and if anything, I mean, you saw what the orcs were saying all this time, like, yeah, they're mostly just like an annoyance, more than, what the fuck? Whoa, these guys are classy as hell. Look at the top hat guy and everything. That is... will forever aspire to be that guy, the top hat guy. But yeah, like, the orcs never really consider them to be that much of a threat, and that's, yeah, the point of view of most people, I would say, in this game. But it's kind of surprising when you, like, really look into the numbers of the Quill Boars. Like, when you combine the population of Razorfen, Crawl, and Downs, and I know that there are some undeads involved in Downs, but listen me out, like, for the most part, when you combine those two numbers, you're actually reaching 6,000 inhabitants. Like, that's as much as Crossroads has. Almost as much as Ratchet has. Like, just... That's more than 4 times the amount of trolls that are in Orgrimmar. Like, that's a lot of Quill Boars. If you were to put all those guys in an army, you would take over Barrens if they were to really march together. And that's, I think, combining that with the Bristlebacks, you could totally take over Barrens. Like, not even a question about it, I would say. You have done well, Rexar. Those insolent Quill Boars will finally learn that the might of the Horde is not to be ignored. Big men running amok right at the border of Durotar. Not on my watch. It is what they say, Rexar. The best defense is crushing all who oppose you. One of my scouts followed the Quill Boar after the last caravan raid, so we know where to strike. Krennic Snarlsnout is the mastermind behind the attacks along the river. Crush him, Hunter. Defeat him and disembowel his forces so that the attacks on this camp cease. Alright, let's do that.
Go forth.
I believe we still haven't finished out the Planestriders, which is obnoxious. This guy's never, and I'm sure that you guys can attest to this, those of you who play WoW, this guy's never, ever drop their beaks. You see, you kill them over and over again, and it's gonna take me forever. And I'm not gonna fast forward this. You guys are gonna see me struggle with every single Planestrider, because I wanna bring this point back home. Blizzard, if you're listening to this, and I'm sure that you're not, increase the amount of beaks that this guy's drop. There we go. I'm not gonna use the overused joke of like, well, that's another Planestrider without a beak. But this should seriously increase the amount of well, I guess the chance of them drawing it, because it's kind of a little bit insane though. And you know what? I am gonna fast forward this, because this is crazy. Okay. Please. Nope. Oh, see, I already have this guy also, just stealing all my kills. There we go. Planestrider beak, 7 out of 7. Done. I will deliver it. You know what? I'll deliver it now, but she has a quest, but I don't want to grab that one until a little bit later, because that's going to take me away from this place. Very good, Rexar. That's one less thing to worry about on the road. Yeah, I'll do that one a little bit later, because I believe that'll take me to the next outpost, which is like somewhere a little bit further down the road. And I'm not quite ready to do that yet. I'm trying to see if there's a vendor here, because I have a lot of stuff that I would like to sell. It doesn't seem like it. We're gonna have to wait until we reach the next outpost. This seems like, oh well, that's fine. Well, we have to kill 5 Thornweavers, 5 defenders, and Krennic Snarlsnout, which is the leader. We'll see if he's a shaman or if it's just a brute. Okay, here we are. So these guys are not gonna be the ones. These are just hunters for the most part. We need to get inside to fight the thorn weavers and the defenders, which is more just gonna be like some nature casters and some quill boars with shields. I think it's probably what we're gonna end up. No shields here. That's fine. We'll be using our kill command a little bit more often because it's the most powerful attack we have. Give the command to kill, causing your pet to instantly inflict 69. 69 is a lot of damage for now. For like, my arcane shot does 37, so you can compare that. It's kind of insane. Yeah, it's pretty insane. Anyways, this is one of the caves of the Quillvors. It's not too nothing that interesting we'll fight here. Actually, I may have forgotten to grab the other quest, because I know that there's a quest to grab these boxes. Let me go back and see if I missed that. Yep, I thought this was gonna be the quest that would take me out, but apparently not. Whatever has happened in the Southern Barrens is causing some of the Quillbor tribes to flee our direction. The displaced racer main in particular grow desperate and their attacks grow bolder. I've lost 2 caravans this week alone. Our warriors at the crossroads desperately need those supplies, and I'm not about to let the Quillbor grow fat off their misdeeds. Find the missing supply crates and bring them to me. I'd search the Quillbor hovel south of here along the river. Well, silly me missing this quest. Look at this guy. Orc Shaman. I like the cane though. Just hitting Quillbors in the face with a cane, that's the way you do it. Anyways, I was sure that I was missing a quest, so thankfully I went back to look. And yep, we're supposed to collect the supplies for the crossroads. That's okay. Let's go ahead and kill some defenders. I think it's just the damage of the kill command though, it's pretty good. If I remember correctly, before, kill command used to always crit, but I think what they ended up doing is they just increased the actual damage of the spell and obviously removed the whole critting thing. I mean, it can still crit, I'm sure, but they just made it naturally stronger instead of just making it always to crit, which is fine by me, because now it has a chance of even critting for an even greater amount of damage, which is insanity if you ask me. But I'm really curious to see if the leader of this tribe of Racer Main is actually a brute or a shaman, because I found it very interesting that shamans, it doesn't matter how strong you are as a Quillbor, if you're a shaman then they have to obey you. Like you automatically become the leader of the entire tribe. It's something really interesting. I'm not sure to what extent that applies, like if you automatically become the king of the Quillbors, or you know how common it is, because it is mentioned that it's a brute, I'm assuming. It is mentioned that 1 in every generation becomes a shaman, but I'm not sure if it's in every little tribe or if it's in the entire kind of civilization of the Quillbors. You know, like what's the extent of this prophetic kind of fact, you know? That's what I'm interested in. But I don't think there's an actual way of knowing. Especially because you see a lot of... You see the Thornweavers, like, if they're not shamans, then what are they? Because that brute, that was a brute. That was an actual warrior. Whereas this guy is obviously some kind of shaman that focuses on nature magic, almost like a druid. But he's following the brute, so I'm not sure you would consider this guy as a shaman, but that's kind of just a small interesting things. Don't blame me, guys. I find the stupidest things interesting. But you know, when it comes down to it, like, the lore does get hurt for the most part because of gameplay mechanics. Like, it would be boring if we were just fighting warrior Quillbors, right? So they have to add in mages just to make it a little bit more diverse. So in a lot of ways the lore takes a hit, and it doesn't matter in what way you look at it. And this happens in so many different respects, but you never know truly like what is really lore or what is just gameplay mechanics. But it's always fun for me too, especially something that I do a lot in my lore videos that I get a lot of flack and a lot of people hate. They be hating. I try to add gameplay mechanics to the lore a lot of ways. I mostly make sure to let everyone know, like, yeah, this is speculation or this is just, you know, whatever. But I've gotten a lot of flack because I tend to do that, like just add gameplay mechanics and they kind of attribute that to lore sometimes, and it's hard sometimes. It's hard to tell when something is lore and when something is not. It's just a gameplay thing. But there we have it. So we still have to kill one more Thornweaver, one of these druids. Let's go ahead and do that. See if we can find this guy. Oh, there's the last one. Let's get rid of this dude. There we go. Awesome. Alright, so that's 5 out of 5. We're done. Let's go back to the camp. And we're back. See what kind of rewards we get for literally destroying an entire civilization of Quillboars. Cut off the head of their leader and chaos ensues, Rexar. Learn this lesson well. It'll aid you in the future. Well done, Rexar. Without Kreenig to orchestrate the raids, my grunts should be able to keep Farwatch secure. Your people should be proud to count you among them. They surely are. And we get new pants. No, that's a belt. Damn it. Kind of sad. Oh my god. It's like the sad part is that I really don't need the money at all. Like, I don't think I'll ever use the money during this entire playthrough. But I still need to sell things and receive quest rewards and stuff. Oh my god. Well, that's done there. Let's go ahead and deliver the supplies. How goes the search for the supplies, Rexar? I trust the Quillboar fall under your strength easily. They do. Haha, thank you, Rexar. This will help us greatly. I'll get the supplies packed up and on their way to Crossroads immediately. Awesome. Have you ever used one of these, Rexar? It's a beast. Hell, with a hand grip. Too heavy to use on foot, but perfect when riding at the head of a caravan. I call it my street sweeper. We need to get those supplies you've collected to the Crossroads, and I expect trouble. I'd like for you to ride shotgun, literally. Say the word when you're ready, and I'll put you to the head of our new caravan, or next caravan. Oh my god! I need to fix this pronto. What the hell? Alright guys, let's ride one of these bad boys.
Go forth to victory.
So, a lot of people don't know this, but the capital of Barrens is not actually Crossroads, which will probably blow a lot of people's heads. The capital is actually Ratchet. The leader of Ratchet being Gaslow. So Gaslow is, I guess, quite literally the leader of Barrens, which is something that... Am I really shooting? I'm shooting a bow now. Oh, this is adorable. So yeah, the leader of Barrens is Gaslow, which is cool because Gaslow... He was recently featured in Hearthstone, and obviously on Warlords of Draenor he kind of takes he has a big part in Warlords of Draenor, but before then I don't think he was really that important. Like, I still remember Gaslow just kind of being this random guy in the Barrens that you would talk to and do this little small quest for, and that's it. That's all he ever was. But just recently he just kind of became popular, and now he's being used in Hearthstone, and again has a big part in Worlds of Draenor, so he's kind of cool. Ratchet has a population of 7,000 peoples, whereas Crossroads has 6,000. So again, I know I'd mentioned this a little bit before, but just to give you guys some comparison, Orgrimmar has 14 to 16,000 populations. So that should give you an idea. Razorfern Kroll has 3,500. Razorfern Down has 2,500. So that should help out just a little bit. Give you guys an idea of how powerful Ratchet is supposed to be compared to how small it actually looks. I mean, let's be real, we'll get to Ratchet probably in the next episode or two next weekend, and you'll be able to see it. Ratchet just looks so tiny. The city really is just this tiny little thing, but in reality it's supposed to be this humongous, like, imagine just like a sprawling business-centric trading city. Like, it is supposed to be the harbor city of the entire, like, Kalimdor, because that's where all ships usually go to when they want to trade. So it's supposed to be a humongous thing, but it's not really shown to be that.
Loktar.
Mokra, stranger, are you here from Farwatch? Yes, you're a side orc. That's the first caravan to make it through this week. Well, my bow was mighty and powerful. This is actually useless to us, but that's fine. Oh, damn it. Just get rid of... No, I don't want to get rid of those. I can sell those. Let's do this, and that's it.
May your blades never dull.
There you go. Kind of look ugly, but that's gonna be the end of this episode, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it, and let me know if you guys are actually enjoying the lore. I don't know if you guys want it to be kind of more relaxed, or if you guys are enjoying the very kind of lore-centric, professionally sounding Let's Play. I don't know. It's whatever you guys want, I'll give you guys. I just want to make you guys happy and give you guys some more content and help you guys understand more of the game, which is always a priority. On the next episode, we will reach Crossroads, and hopefully we'll just explore a little bit more about you know, how epic this land truly is, because it is one of my favorite zones in the game, and I hope that I show that on the videos. Anyways, guys, see you guys next weekend. Hope you'll had a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.
Oh no.